King Charles finally confronts Prince Archie, and it's bad. Recently, a dramatic and unexpected event took place at Buckingham Palace. King Charles III finally confronted his grandson Prince Archie in a tense conversation that put the entire royal family in an awkward situation. After years of silence and avoidance, the relationship between the two was finally brought to the table, and the result was far from what many had hoped for. Prince Archie, who has lived far from the United Kingdom and faced significant public pressure, had to confront direct questions and criticism from King Charles. This dialogue was shocking, not only due to its surprise, but also because of the serious nature of the accusations and reproach. Many are left wondering, will this be a turning point in the relationship between King Charles and Prince Archie, or merely a moment of unnecessary tension that brings no real change? One thing is certain. This will be a story that both the royal family and the public will closely follow in the coming time. Prince Archie was born into a very important family with a long history in British royalty. He is the son of Prince Harry and the grandson of King Charles. His birth should have been a joyful moment for the family, continuing their storied legacy. But doubts about his role in the monarchy surfaced from the start, leaving people wondering where he fit in. Unlike many other royal children, Archie did not receive the title of prince at birth. This might have seemed minor, but it sparked tension and controversy within the royal family. The lack of a title for Archie was not just a simple administrative issue. It symbolized deeper divisions among the royals. Discussions about Archie's status had been ongoing behind closed doors for years, leading to a quiet but noticeable rift between Prince Harry and his father, King Charles. Buckingham Palace remained neutral in their official statements, but rumors of frustration spread. Harry, who had faced the challenges of royal life, wanted to ensure a clear and secure future for his son. However, he encountered obstacles, red tape, and rules that seemed selectively enforced. The tension reached a breaking point in a dramatic confrontation. A private conversation between Harry and King Charles escalated into a heated argument. It was emotional and intense as Harry demanded fairness for his child. The details of their discussion were largely kept secret, but those aware of it said it left both men upset. This wasn't just a fight over a title. It was a conflict about history, identity, and the unwritten rules of the royal family. Essentially, it was a debate between adhering to tradition or embracing change, between expectations and reality. The fallout from this disagreement rocked the royal family. Choices were made, bonds were strained, and the core of the monarchy was questioned. Although Archie was too young to understand the significance of these discussions, he became a symbol of change. His circumstances forced the royal family to confront tough questions about its relevance in today's world and whether old customs were still appropriate. The reality of what transpired within the palace was far more intricate than news reports suggested, and the repercussions of these events would influence the monarchy for years to come. When Prince Archie was born on May 6, 2019, many expected the usual royal ceremonies. As the first child of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, he was more than just an ordinary royal baby. He held a special and important role in the British royal family. Seventh in line to the throne, he was a direct descendant of one of the most powerful monarchies in history. Unlike his royal cousins, Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis Archie, was not granted the title of prince at birth. Instead, he was named Master Archie Harrison Mountbatten Windsor. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex announced they had named their child Archie Harrison Mountbatten Windsor. This sparked questions because royal children in the direct line of succession are typically given titles at birth. Buckingham Palace initially stated that Archie wasn't given the title of prince due to a rule established by King George V in 1917. This rule declared that only the children and grandchildren of a reigning monarch could be called prince or princess. Since Archie was Queen Elizabeth II's great-grandson, and she was still the monarch at his birth, he did not meet the qualifications for the title. It appeared to be a matter of tradition, part of the complex royal protocols. Yet upon closer examination, contradictions emerged. If the 1917 rule was the reason why did Queen Elizabeth II bend it in 2012 for Prince William's children? Before Prince George was born, the Queen issued a specific declaration ensuring that all of William's children, regardless of gender, would receive the title of Prince or Princess from birth. Consequently, Prince George, born in 2013, Princess Charlotte, born in 2015, and Prince Louis, born in 2018, were all granted royal titles without delay. This raised a significant issue. Why was Archie treated differently? If exceptions had been made before, why wasn't he extended the same courtesy given his close ties to the royal family? The more people questioned this decision, the more it seemed a hidden motive was at play, something that couldn't be dismissed as merely following an old rule. Speculation grew about whether racial bias influenced the decision. Meghan Markle, the first biracial woman to join the royal family, had already faced intense media scrutiny and backlash. People began to wonder if her son was deliberately denied royal privileges. In later interviews, Meghan and Harry revealed that there were discussions about what title Archie might receive. Meghan also disclosed that there were conversations within the royal family about Archie's skin color before his birth. The royal baby Archie Harrison Mountbatten Windsor was already making history as the first biracial baby in the royal family. These revelations fueled widespread controversy and discussions about race privilege and tradition within the storied royal family. What initially seemed like a straightforward decision became a global issue. If Archie had been treated like his cousins, there would have been no controversy. The fact that he did not receive a title like other royal children hinted at a deeper problem. But where did this all begin? Let's examine the strained relationship between Archie's father and grandfather. Tensions between Prince Harry and King Charles have long simmered. A once strong bond between them has been overshadowed by arguments, misunderstandings, and deep frustrations. Their problems became more apparent after Harry married Meghan Markle and began distancing himself from royal duties. Gradually, their disagreements escalated into a serious dispute, impacting not only their relationship, but also altering the course of the British royal family's future. A key issue fueling conflict between Harry and King Charles was Harry's decision to step back from royal duties in 2020. King Charles, who devoted his life to preparing for the throne and upholding monarchical traditions, believed duty and responsibility were paramount. In contrast, Harry sought greater independence, control over his life, and protection for his wife and children from the pressures of royal life. When Harry and Meghan announced their intention to step back as senior royals, it shocked the monarchy. It was more than just stepping away. It was a rejection of the traditional way the royal family had operated for years. Charles struggled to understand Harry's decision, and some believed he viewed it as a dismissal of his own efforts. The situation grew tenser when Harry openly discussed his struggles within the royal family and his feelings of being unsupported. However, it wasn't just the relationship between Harry and his father that suffered. His bond with his brother, Prince William, also deteriorated significantly. Once very close, the brothers had relied on each other, especially after the death of their mother, Princess Diana. But as adults, their differing personalities became more evident. William, destined to be king, embraced his royal responsibilities, while Harry felt out of place in the royal family. When Harry and Meghan chose to leave the UK, the situation worsened. William disapproved of Harry's decisions, believing he was neglecting his duties. The brothers clashed over how Meghan was treated and Harry's growing discontent with the royal family. Their relationship became strained, with rumors of arguments and heartfelt talks that failed to resolve their issues. Harry and William share a strong brotherly bond, but it has been severely tested and may take years to repair. Similarly, Harry's strained relationship with King Charles presents a significant challenge. The question now is whether time will heal these wounds, or if the rift will continue to widen, affecting the royal family for years to come. Further tensions arose when Meghan Markle sat for her Oprah Winfrey interview, revealing shocking details about the royal family. In 2021, Meghan's conversation with Oprah garnered global attention. The interview exposed surprising insights into her experiences within the royal family, but one statement stood out. Meghan claimed that while pregnant with Archie, there were discussions within the palace about whether he should receive a royal title. According to standard royal customs, Archie would have automatically become a prince when Prince Charles became king. However, Meghan alleged that there was a deliberate attempt to alter the rules so her son would never receive this title even after Charles ascended the throne. This revelation had significant implications. Was this merely a bureaucratic decision tied to a broader restructuring of the monarchy, or was there a more calculated motive? Meghan's statements suggested the latter. She believed this was not about long-standing traditions or royal procedures, but a deliberate choice to exclude her son, and by extension herself and Prince Harry, from the royal family's future. The interview sent shockwaves worldwide and sparked debates about the royal family's decision. Some argued that Meghan and Harry's choice to step back from royal duties influenced the decision. They had chosen to live outside the royal family in the United States to raise their family with more freedom. Was the decision about Archie's title simply a consequence of their withdrawal from royal duties? Was it a way to sever ties with the royal institution? Or had the palace always planned to ensure Archie never truly belonged? Public scrutiny intensified, raising questions about bias in the palace's actions. People wondered why other royal children did not face the same restrictions as Archie. Prince William's children were an exception, granted royal titles at birth. Meghan's statement suggested that Archie's situation was not random or impartial. It hinted at a more personal motive which she and Harry deeply resented as they distanced themselves from royal duties. The debate intensified as people reflected on Meghan's words. The interview exposed issues within the royal family, highlighting problems of power privilege and exclusion. It sparked discussions about whether the monarchy was evolving with the times or clinging to outdated customs that no longer suited modern society. Some supported the royal family, arguing it was merely a matter of following rules, while others saw Meghan's situation as evidence of deeper institutional flaws. After Meghan and Harry's interview, it was clear it had profoundly impacted public perception of the royal family. The interview raised more questions than answers, igniting a global conversation about fairness, equality, and the future of the British monarchy. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle began dating in 2016 after being introduced by a mutual friend. Their relationship quickly blossomed and captured global attention. In 2018, they married at St. George's Chapel in Windsor Castle in a grand ceremony. People worldwide watched as the British prince and American actress wed, heralding what was seen as a new and exciting era for the royal family. Their marriage symbolized progress, inclusivity, and a departure from old customs, inspiring hope that the monarchy was adapting to modern times. However, life in the royal spotlight was far less glamorous than it seemed. The couple faced intense media scrutiny that invaded their privacy. Meghan, in particular, was often portrayed negatively by British tabloids. The tension between them and the media became overwhelming. Stories about Meghan's past, her family issues, and rumors of conflicts with other royals constantly filled the news. Harry and Meghan began questioning their future in the monarchy. As pressure mounted, they made a shocking decision in January 2020 to step back from their roles as senior royals. The world was stunned by their choice, dubbed Megxit by the British media. This was a historic move, as no royal as significant as Harry had ever voluntarily distanced themselves so far from the monarchy before. During their transition, Harry and Meghan sought financial independence by establishing their brand Sussex Royal. However, Buckingham Palace prohibited them from using this title, adding to their frustration. Though they stepped back from royal roles, Harry retained his title as a prince and remained fifth in line to the throne. They also kept their Duke and Duchess of Sussex titles, but were no longer permitted to use His or Her Royal Highness, HRH, before their names. When Harry and Meghan stepped back, Harry lost his military titles, which were central to his identity. This was a significant loss for him. Despite this, they continued to focus on their charitable work and personal projects. After Queen Elizabeth II's death in 222, Harry's father Charles became king. Per royal rules, Archie and Lilibet, as the grandchildren of the king, should have been called Prince and Princess. Yet things were not straightforward. The delay in confirming their titles fueled rumors that the monarchy was reluctant to accept them. Some believed this stemmed from Harry and Meghan's decision to distance themselves, while others saw it as a sign of ongoing conflicts between the Sussexes and the royal family. Harry and Meghan moved to California in June 2020 for a fresh start. They sought a more peaceful and private life, especially for their son Archie. Their daughter Lilibet was born in 2021, solidifying their new life in the U.S. In California, they purchased a home, launched media ventures, and began establishing their legacy apart from the royal family. By 2024, their ties to the UK had weakened significantly. In April of that year, official documents confirmed that Harry was now primarily residing in the United States, formalizing the couple's full embrace of their American life. Their connection to the UK grew even more distant when they were asked to vacate Frogmore Cottage in early 2023. Frogmore Cottage, a gift from Queen Elizabeth II, had been their official UK residence, but it was no longer considered their home after they stepped back from royal duties. Could this be why their children were denied royal titles? For a long time, little attention was paid to Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's children being overlooked. Most focus was on the couple's departure from royal life and their well-known conflicts with the monarchy. But when King Charles became king in 2022, the issue of their children's royal status became unavoidable. It became a serious matter that demanded attention. A 1917 royal decree stated that Archie and Lilibet, as grandchildren of the reigning monarch, were entitled to the titles of prince and princess automatically. This practice had always been followed to ensure the royal hierarchy continued for future generations. However, rumors circulated within Buckingham Palace that King Charles was considering altering this rule. If true, this would mean Harry and Meghan's children might not receive the royal titles that were rightfully theirs by birth. The implications of such a decision were significant. Denying Archie and Lilibet titles would not only disconnect them from their royal heritage, but also symbolically distance their parents further from the monarchy. Was this merely an effort to streamline the institution and make it smaller? Or was it a deliberate step to separate the Sussex family from royal traditions? Tensions escalated between Harry and his father during a private meeting. This conversation differed from typical palace discussions about royal duties. It was personal. Harry questioned why his children were treated differently from his brother's children. He wanted to know why Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis had their titles, but Archie and Lilibet did not. Harry challenged why the monarchy was selectively choosing who belonged to the family. King Charles believed a smaller royal family was essential to save costs and focus on direct heirs. He thought fewer working royals were critical for the monarchy to thrive in modern society. Harry wasn't concerned with practicality. He cared about what he believed was right. He felt it was vital for his children to be treated fairly and not judged based on their mother or their parents' choices. He wanted Archie and Lilibet to be fully recognized as part of the royal family rather than overlooked. The outcome of the conversation was not made public. No formal announcements were issued, and the palace chose to remain silent on the matter. Nevertheless, it was clear that the relationship between Harry and his father had deteriorated. What began as a personal disagreement between family members evolved into a broader conflict about tradition, identity, and the royal family's future. People began to wonder if Harry's strained relationship with the royal family influenced their decision. After Harry married Meghan Markle, tensions with the rest of the royals became evident. Some believed that stepping back from royal duties made it easier for the monarchy to exclude them from traditions. Others argued the royal family saw no need to grant Archie and Lilibet titles, since their parents had already distanced themselves from royal duties. The decision had lasting effects, signaling a shift in how the royal family views its future and the roles of its members. Prince George will always hold a significant place in history as the future king. But what about Archie and Lilibet? Will they maintain a connection to their royal roots? Or will they be remembered as children denied their rightful titles? The debate over Archie's royal title was just the beginning of a larger mystery. His birth raised more questions, prompting speculation about what was truly happening in the palace. Unlike past royal births that adhered to tradition, Archie's arrival was different, sparking curiosity and doubt. Typically, when a royal baby is born, the palace issues an immediate official statement, followed by the proud parents emerging from the hospital to wave to cameras. This occurred with Princess Diana when she presented Prince William and Prince Harry, and with Kate Middleton when she introduced Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis. These carefully orchestrated public appearances allowed the world to share in celebrating the new royal baby. But when Meghan Markle went into labor, things unfolded differently. The palace broke long-standing royal tradition by not announcing Meghan's labor and Archie's birth in the usual manner. Instead, the public was informed after the baby had already been born. This was unprecedented in modern royal history. Unlike previous royal births, there were no photographers or press waiting outside the hospital, and the Duke and Duchess of Sussex did not present their newborn to the world. Everything was kept behind closed doors, raising questions about why this birth was so different. People wondered if this was a personal choice by Harry and Meghan, or if something was happening behind the scenes that the public was unaware of. The mystery didn't end there. Archie's birth certificate contained unusual details. When it was released, people noticed differences compared to his royal cousins. One striking difference was how Prince Harry's name was listed. Instead of being called Prince, he was recorded as His Royal Highness, Henry Charles Albert David Duke of Sussex. It was odd to see his title omitted on such an important document, as he had always been known as Prince Harry to the public. Meghan was listed as Princess of the United Kingdom on her son's birth certificate, which was unexpected since she had primarily been known as the Duchess of Sussex after marrying Harry. Although she technically held the title of princess as the wife of a prince, it had never been officially used for her until the birth certificate. This official document marked a significant shift in her title. The inconsistencies deepened the mystery. People wondered if Harry and Meghan deliberately broke from royal tradition, or if there was a larger reason behind their actions. Some believed they did so to protect their son's privacy and shield him from the royal lifestyle. Others speculated the royal family was attempting to distance them. Every minor deviation, break from tradition, and lack of communication from the palace suggested that Archie was being treated differently from other royal children. Many questioned whether this was a subtle way to disconnect Archie from his royal heritage. Unlike Prince William's children who were born with royal titles, Archie did not receive the title of prince. When Archie was born, Buckingham Palace cited the 1917 rule that only the children and grandchildren of a reigning monarch could automatically be called prince or princess. Since Queen Elizabeth II was the reigning monarch at Archie's birth, he did not qualify to be called a prince. Critics quickly pointed out a contradiction. In 2012, Queen Elizabeth issued a rule granting Prince William's children royal titles from birth, regardless of gender. But Archie was not afforded the same treatment, raising questions about the reason for the discrepancy. Some viewed it as merely following rules, while others suspected a deliberate effort to separate him from the royal family. Meghan later suggested that discussions about Archie's title occurred in secret, implying resistance to granting him this status even when his grandfather became king. Under normal circumstances, when Charles became king, Archie would have automatically received the title of prince, but that did not happen. It remains unclear whether this was due to Harry and Meghan's decision to step back from royal duties or a choice made by the palace. Throughout the British monarchy's history, there have been pivotal moments when long-standing tensions erupted, permanently altering relationships. One defining moment for Prince Harry and Meghan Markle was the arduous battle over their children's royal titles. This struggle was not just about names and official positions, but touched on deeper issues of belonging, identity, and legacy. When King Charles finally granted Archie and Lilibet the titles of prince and princess, it was too late to repair the damage already done. The decision came after months of uncertainty, speculation, and behind-the-scenes discussions. By the time the titles were granted, the delay had already deepened the divide between the Duke and Duchess of Sussex and the rest of the royal family. The dispute over these titles underscored that Harry and Meghan were no longer part of the monarchy's inner circle. They were now outsiders, separated by both physical distance and conflict. Archie, the young boy, caught in the midst of this royal conflict, faces an uncertain future. While his father grew up in Buckingham Palace, steeped in royal customs, Archie is being raised in a vastly different environment. His life is far removed from the monarchy's strict rules. He carries a title linking him to centuries of British history, but it remains unclear whether this title will truly make him a member of the royal family. Will he ever be accepted as a true prince, or will he always be known as the son of the man who walked away from royal life? The conflict over his identity was more than just a name. It involved acknowledgement, heritage, and acceptance. It was a question of whether he and his sister would be embraced as full members of the royal family or pushed aside, their ties to the monarchy fading over time. For Harry and Meghan, this battle was deeply personal. It wasn't just about securing their children's rightful titles. It was about integrity, equality, and respect. The couple had always felt they were treated differently from other royals, and the uncertainty surrounding Archie and Lilibet's titles only reinforced that sentiment. The monarchy is rooted in tradition, hierarchy, and strict rules. Harry and Meghan's decision to step back was seen as a betrayal and a challenge to the royal family. Their departure, interviews, and criticisms of the monarchy widened the divide between them and other royals. Even a prestigious title could not mend the damage. The royal family may have reluctantly granted Archie and Lilibet their titles to quell further disputes. However, this does not erase the years of tension, accusations of unfair treatment, and feelings of exclusion that Harry and Meghan have voiced. Instead, it highlights the ongoing divide between the Sussexes and the monarchy. This decision underscores how fractured the royal family has become, a problem that cannot be resolved by granting titles. As time passes, questions linger about what lies ahead for Archie and Lilibet. Will they eventually embrace their royal heritage, or will they be more focused on their American lives than the traditions of Buckingham Palace? Will they ever be fully accepted by the institution their father chose to leave? Or will they be seen as reminders of the consequences of choosing love and freedom over duty? This chapter in royal history has not only marked a significant turning point in the lives of Prince Archie and Lilibet, but also exposed deep rifts within the family that may take years to heal. The tensions, the disputes over titles, and the difficult decisions made will leave a lasting imprint on both the public and the royal family. Will time heal these wounds, or will it only deepen them? The answer remains uncertain. One thing is clear: the conflicts over identity and attachment will not be easily forgotten. They will be remembered not only for their impact on the individuals within the royal family, but also because they reflect profound changes in how the British monarchy faces the challenges of a new era. Will Prince Harry accept the titles given to his children, or will he stand firm in his stance? We can only wait to see how this story unfolds. We'd love to hear your thoughts on these tensions. Do you think things can be improved? Share your opinions in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated on the next exciting stories.